Hello, and welcome to a broadcast produced by Friends of Terry Virgil. I'm Terry Virgil, your host. Today's episode is digital banking. Just what is digital banking? Well, it's a way to get rid of the dollar bill. Your dollar bill that you use to pay cash with. And there is a little bit of a problem here. Wall Street tried it out on the NASDAQ and had a meeting with big banks. And here's the idea that is with this digital banking. The banks will dictate to you how much money you can have. That's what it comes down to. Digital banking means that you can only have a certain amount of money at any given time. Now, where did you hear about this before? I spoke about it several times. If you recall what I talked about, the Sustainable Development Agenda by the UN, this was mentioned in there. Believe it or not, Agenda 21, it's in digital banking is in there as well. They want to control. The one-world-government wants to control your finances so that they have the money to spend in order to have these things called entitlements so that people will no longer be able to be in control of their finances. In other words, take your ability and your freedom and rights to be either rich or poor. They want to take that away from you. They want the idea of saying, okay, we're going to take this digital banking and use it. I know where they tested it out at, and let me put it this way. There was a guy that needed to get some money and a certain amount of money, and he couldn't get it, and he had to drive all over the place to different branches of his bank in order to get the amount of money that he needed. And we're not talking thousands of dollars here. We're talking less than 100. In other words, all he could get was $50 at a time. That's what digital banking is all about. Government control. We said it before, it's called communism. And we know that one person that is really in favor of all this, and she is running for president of the United States of America. We'll say, let's spread some manure on this. The manure lady, she doesn't like mudslinging, so we'll put it there. Hillary Clinton. If you haven't figured it out, it's a liberal and Democrat idea called communism. That's why all liberals and Democrats are communists. Every one of you. Everyone that votes that way. Everyone that wants to go for anybody that's in political office is a Democrat. Only a fool would go for this idea. And here's the other problem that they came up with. The Democrats and liberals and communists and socialists and the big banks gathered up. They won't allow people that are conservative in this meeting, by the way. And they decided to try it once and try it out, see what happens. This is going on Wall Street, by the way. It means that you get your money faster, of course. That's obvious. But there's one other problem. The biggest problem is only certain people can get wealthy, and certain people can become wealthy, and certain people will be able to control your finances. What they also want to do in this case is give you a digital ID. Digital ID was brought up under President George W. Bush. and that is Junior, by the way. Digital ID means that, and the idea was shot down, by the way, because of one thing. Digital ID takes away from your freedom and liberty. With the digital ID, in order to buy something, you had to have your digital ID with you so you could withdraw the funds needed in order to pay for it. Sounds good, but there's one huge problem. Where's the freedom and liberty in that? It's just like digital banking. Where's the liberty and freedom in that? Here's a good prime example why digital banking is not good. I will give you the real country where it failed in. Greece. Even the digital ID failed in Greece. The banking system in Greece went belly up. People couldn't get their money. People couldn't get any funds. The whole idea behind digital banking, and they want to stop any run on the bank. Well, here's the thing that you got to look at. We're supposed to live in a free society with capitalism. Well, digital banking gets rid of that idea too. That's shut down the heck, because the government will say no to this. And here's the interesting thing too that believe it or not is coming up. The Democrats and the Republicans are actually wanting Donald Trump to become president so that they could point the finger and have some blame on Donald Trump. Kind of interesting. Yes, Hillary Clinton, yes, she is one that's power hungry, just like the rest of the Clintons are. They're all power hungry. They want power. Just like a United States Senator here in the state of Wisconsin. His name is Russ Feingold. He is a former U.S. Senator that lost in an election and now wants to get back into power. He is not a friend of the veterans. He's not a friend of poor. He's not a friend of middle class. The only thing that he is a friend of is Russ Feingold. So Russ Feingold is trying to get himself back in the office in the biggest way. Because this way, and he's in favor of digital banking, by the way. By the way, you can sling manure on him. He is a Democrat and a liberal. He hates human life. He hates marriage. He hates anything that deals with morality. He loves sexual immorality. He loves the idea of sexual immoral. So we could sling a little manure on him. I'm not slinging mud. Manure is worse than mud. So let's put that to rest. Digital banking means that if you want to buy something in the grocery store, such as, let's use an example of a commodity that you probably will need in your household. It's called sugar. It costs $1.25 per bag. I don't know what it really costs because I haven't bought sugar in such a long time. I forgot how much it costs. Let's say, for example, $1.25. And then you wanted to buy some eggs. Okay, they're probably what, $1.10. So we got $2 and we'll say 35 cents. Gallon of milk, another $3. And you go up to pay for it. And you know that you got enough money in your banking account to pay for it, but you can't use cash. You have to use a debit card or a credit card to pay for it. Now, if you're not in tune with the economy, I am. I'm kind of what they call a pretty good expert in the economy. You got that dollar, well, we'll say about $5. We'll round it up to $5 or round it down to $5, whatever it is. You go to pay for it. You want to pay in cash because you got a $5 bill in there. Store says no, you got to use your debit card. Now you go to pay for it, and they say, well, you can't pay for it with your credit card or debit card. Excuse me, that's supposed to be debit card because you don't have enough money in your account. But you do have enough money in your account because you have, let's say, $1,000 in there. $1,000 that you haven't even spent yet. It's not enough to spend your debit card, and they won't take your $5 bill, or we'll say a $10 bill in this case, so you get $5 and change. I make the math real simple. The only other alternative you got is to use a credit card, and the credit card charges you 35% interest on that $5. So you got to pay $5.35 in order to pay for your groceries. That's what digital banking is all about. Forcing you to spend money which you don't have. Or you do have, but they won't let you do it. Now here's the funny thing, too, that goes with this digital banking idea. Now, you want to go pay for that credit card bill. You got to submit it to your bank. And the bank will automatically, the credit card company will automatically take it out of your account. Now, here's the other side is that what the liberals and Democrats are saying, you are not a responsible person. You have no accountability, no integrity. But you want to go pay for it right away because then you don't get charged at 35% interest. Well, the digital banking says, well, you can't do that until next month. In other words, digital banking says you got to pay more for what you bought at the grocery store, and you got to go to an ATM machine in order to get your money out, in order to pay for it. In other words, you got to pay 35 cents on groceries that you needed. The other problem with digital banking is that what digital banks will say is there will be no more 50s and $100 bills at all. None. The only amount that you'll be able to carry on you is a 20. That's the highest amount. Or 5 or 10 or $1. With coins, digital banking will eliminate coins. No more nickel, no more copper, no more silver. And if you're lucky like I am, I have some gold coins that I could use if I need to. But those will be a thing in the past. Everything will be rounded up to the nearest dollar, by the way, according to digital banking, because the computer cannot handle the odd cents. Cannot do that. Matter of fact, with digital banking, everybody would have to pay 45% just to go to the bank to get money out of an ATM machine. That's what digital banking is all set up for. One world government, with the idea of saying, we're going to control your money. We'll actually put people in charge of making sure that you have, they're going to, even if you're very good